Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Trading Diary. And today we'll cover last 2 weeks, as last week it was Easter and I didn't manage to record a video. But what happened 2 weeks ago? Well, I went on a tilt again. And this is something that I was telling you a bit in the psychology pages, that very often after 2-3 weeks, we're getting this confidence back and we're ready to trade, and then something snaps, and this is exactly what happened to me. And well, I almost lost my funded account. I was $300 from losing it, and last 2 weeks were definitely not easy because I lost the confidence in my own strategy. So let's see what happened within the last 2 weeks. So something that we already can see from the stats is that obviously I am low currently on this account, but more importantly, my trade win is almost 50%. So that dropped, and also the average win to loss trade dropped below 1, which is not good, but also it shows my psychology that I lost the confidence in my trades and how I'm placing them and when I'm exiting them. And obviously with the small account, small size to protect before losing the account, I am trying as much as possible to protect my capital, and this is the main aim for now. It's not to grow the account, but it's to take those small wins and grow it slowly to a place where I can actually start placing the proper trades. So that's why a bit my strategy, let's say, changed, but it's also more of a psychology shift. And we can see here that this is April, but what happened in March? Yes, that definitely is a tilt. 26 trades, minus $1,000, and that's not a great result. And then after the next day, I was on a plus, but it was with 5 trades, so still I was recovering from that tilt. I was thinking definitely about P&L, and then afterwards in April, we can see that Wednesday and Thursday I took trades. I was more cautious, 1 trade, 2 trades. On Friday it was the Easter Friday, so I didn't trade here. And then this week I tried to get those small wins, but I was very fast closing the trades. And that was a huge mistake because those trades were really good winner trades. But again, when I got the loss, here I already had the $800 buffer, so I got a bit more confidence. On Wednesday, I didn't find any setup, and on Thursday, there was a consolidation. And the confidence took over. I had 1 loss, and I was waiting until my stop loss will be hit. Like, I'm confident in my trades, and that one was a loser, especially that I didn't enter in a correct place. The candle didn't close. And then after losing the first $200, I wanted to recover the second $200, and it ended up with the loss of minus $400. And also those trades were taken outside of my trading time, so that's also not good. And today we're having a small win, and currently we are $500 on plus. We're having this buffer of $500 before losing the account. Still, that's not a lot, but I need to find the confidence in staying in the trades longer and just be okay that if I will lose the account, I am okay with it. Though it is funded, it's very hard to not think about P&L. But let's first see what have I done within those 2 weeks, what trades did I took, and let's forget about that Monday of the 30th of March, because there's nothing that you can learn from. And let's start from Tuesday. And here we can see that we're having 5 trades starting from 2 losses. We can see that I tried gold because I was trying to find an instrument which is slightly cheaper than silver, as I was only having $300 of buffer. So I was thinking maybe micro gold could be an option. However, maybe you remember that I am having a really bad relationship with gold, so I am very often faked out. While for silver, I have a very much working strategy, just I need to get that confidence in holding those trades longer. So I tried, I got a loss here, and definitely we will see that trade, but I think I even got out from it because I was scared. Also, we will see that most of my trades I was entering on the open candle. This is not accordingly to my strategy. However, again, I didn't have got too much buffer of a risk. I had to take the trades which were very low risk, and that meant that sometimes I was entering on the open candle, and that I kind of realized today that it was a huge mistake and I should always wait for the candle to close. So let's see the first trade of Tuesday, and we can see that the first one was a loss, and we can see that on Tuesday morning, yes, it was Tuesday morning, the price made a move to the upside. This was definitely a proper move. And then afterwards, the price started to make a pullback. The move is way slower and way more spread in time than the proper move. So this was a pullback, and then at the beginning the trend line was here the candle pushed through. However, it was an undecisive candle. We can move then the trend line more closer to the new point, and then we can see that this candle was the candle that I should have entered. However, as I'm saying, I was trying very much to minimize my risk as much as possible, and here where the psychology is coming into play. And I didn't enter. I wasn't sure if this is a beautiful candle, and then I let the price go. And when if we'll zoom in, we will see that I entered when the candle, which was an open candle, because that was for me a moment when I knew that this candle had got a good volume. It was kind of pretty. It crossed the trend line. We are probably changing the direction, but that candle here, when it spiked to the top, I was kind of more sure that maybe we are going and reversing and going further up. However, as we can see, my stop loss was placed here under that strong candle, and it was $176 of maximum loss, and I had only the buffer of $300, and I started to freak out. So when that candle closed as doji candle, and the next candle started to go up, and again it went down and closed as another doji candle. When that candle started to push to the upside and started to get back, I was too scared, and instead of closing with $176 loss, I closed on 70. But my loss would never be hit here if I would just keep that trade going. And the next trade, we are having another loss, and that one was a loss on gold. And as I was saying, I just lost the confidence in gold. I am very often faked out. I also entered here, we can see, on an open candle, and the candle closed on the other side. So that is definitely a mistake. And after I decided I am not trading gold, I am staying with silver. Then the next one is $157 of a win, and I just wanted to cover the previous loss and get some buffer, grow it as much as possible. So here we are having that pullback, which I thought it's a pullback. However, that move was even more of a pullback of that one. As we can see, it's even more flat and even more slow. and then the move happened. And I again entered on the open candle to not risk more money. Here was already $189 of the risk. So I was risking almost my full account at this point with the loss of $70. And then when the price got to the first candle closed here, I was like, I am getting out, I am getting those profits. And when I closed, obviously the price still went down, and this is definitely my mistake from last 2 weeks, and the price made another $300. And the rest of the trades of the day, well, when you are on the plus, you should stop trading, because then you don't want to lose what you just got. So here I entered theoretically with the strategy. The candle closed on the other side. However, the volume here was smaller than the previous volume, which made that I should not have entered to that candle. And when I entered and the price very fast reversed, I closed to just close on break even. And the next one is $82, and here it's the last one of the day. And here theoretically we are again okay with the strategy, so I think I was taking the previous one here, but here we can see that we are going now with the trend. I entered when the candle here, that candle was having a bigger volume here, and we closed below that previous pivot point, and I entered, but then the price reversed back and it kicked me out, so I didn't profit of any of that. And then we're having Wednesday, and I became more calm, and we can see that I placed only one trade that day. It was small win. However, again, I closed slightly too early, so we can see here that the win was of $92. And here we're saying that definitely the price went up, it consolidated at the top and then reversed, and we're going with the trend. And here we're having the trend line that had got a lot of touch points on the trend line. And when it crossed, we can see that that candle before, let's see at the volume to be sure. The volume was slightly bigger than the previous one, so that was a good entry. However, again, I wasn't sure about if the candle is beautiful, so I entered slightly later when the price dropped below that wick of that candle, the previous candle. And well, I should have waited until my take profit would be hit. My take profit was $74, the round number. It was small win to loss ratio, but as I was saying, I want to build that buffer back again. So I took $93 and I closed it almost immediately. And then the last two trades of last week were on Thursday, and we can see that those two were break-even trades. I got very scared of losing any money, and it was Thursday before Easter. And the markets, I wasn't sure if the markets will be moving very good, so I got a bit scared. And here, oh, I remember this one so well. So we had a consolidation, and then at the Shanghai Open, everything dropped. And we can see that the price here was kind of consolidating. We are not sure where is it going. And can you tell me what mistake have I done here? Though it's written. But yes, I didn't wait until this candle will close. And then the next candle was the killer candle, or the candle that actually went in the right direction. But here we can see that, okay, the trend line was crossed, but this candle is not pretty. My candle on which one I entered is also not pretty, and the volumes are even smaller. So that was a huge mistake that I entered, and that even indicates that there's no pressure to go up, so there is bigger possibility to go down. And as we can see that the price went down. Obviously it would be too big risk, but in normal scenario, I could enter at the end of this candle because it broke the trend line, it closed on the other side, and we can see that the volume is big and the candle is pretty. And after, we have a beautiful move to the downside, and it is a bit slower than the candle itself, but again, this is quite a win. If we would check it, let's see how much it would be. Whoa! That was definitely not an affordable trade because that candle itself is already $1,000. And then that move was another $1,000. That's true, we got from $72, almost the round number, to almost $70. So this is $2,000 move here. But yeah, I decided to go the other direction, not according to the strategy. So, well, big mistake. So after not catching that move and having a break-even trade, I decided to wait until that next trend line will be crossed to the other direction, to the upside, when the price will get exhausted of going down. Because honestly, like that day, we went from $75, $76 to $70. So that whole move here, it's already $6,000. So the price, will it go even more down? I was doubting it here, but then here I decided to maybe take another chance of going to the upside, and we can see that this candle had a bigger volume. It is a beautiful candle, however, it's not so big, and I wasn't so convinced yet, and I waited until the next candle, and the next candle here we can see volume is very big, the candle is very big, and I entered here and I chickened out almost immediately, and I should have at least trailed my stop loss along the trend line, and we can see that that would be $496 move, but I chickened out and the maximum loss was $280, but we could trail it and get to $160 if we would trail our stop loss along that trend line. However, yeah, I don't want to lose any money, so I closed on break even. And this week was not so great for trading in the morning, and especially that on Monday we had got Easter Monday still, and also in Asia, in China, there was a bank holiday. So I was thinking that that will cause that the moves will not be so clear. And also on Tuesday and Wednesday, we didn't know what will happen in Iran, and fortunately on Wednesday we got to know that there is a ceasefire, so that was great. However, that caused this huge uncertainty in the markets, and even after the moment when on Wednesday we got the information about ceasefire, the ceasefire is only for 2 weeks, so it created, I think, even more unknown in the markets after Wednesday than before, because before we kind of knew that if there will be no agreement, what will happen. But now it's 2 weeks of unknown if there will be some kind of agreement, if the war is ending. So for next 2 weeks, now actually for 1 more week, kind of 10 days, I think. We will see what will happen. But the markets, they don't know which way to go because the future is very much unknown. So that also creates those consolidations in the market and a lot of fake moves. So definitely all those information didn't help me to trade this week, and let's see what have I done. And we ended up this week on minus $144, so that is also not great. I am currently with today's trade plus $500 before losing the account, so that's not great, especially that before that day I was $800. But yeah, we have a change in plans, let's say. But let's see the first trade on Monday. And yeah, a win, but you can see already that I chicken out way too fast. So here we had got, as I was saying, Monday, a bit of a consolidation. We don't know where we're going. Friday also here a consolidation because it was Easter Friday, Easter Monday. Also, I think both of those days there was a holiday in China, definitely on Monday. So we can see that Asian session didn't go anywhere. And we can see that here we have got a bit of a move to the upside, then the price completely returned to the initial levels, but here it was kind of rejecting to go further down. Here was the first spike to the upside at 5 a.m. So I could have taken that one, but I was too scared. I wanted to see that the price is changing the direction, so that we saw, that was very clear. And here we had pretty strong candle, not so pretty. I'm not sure about that week. That's why I again waited until the price of the next candle will cross that wick, and the volume was bigger than the previous, so I entered here and maximum loss was $187. And I was aiming for $300 around that level here. We can see that that was support resistant. However, the price completely went through that support resistance and didn't respect it at all. But I don't know why even I closed here. Maybe just I wanted some profits. But yeah, I should have just leave my stop loss and leave my take profit and let the trades run, because as we can see, if all the things, all the elements of the silver strategy are there, then the trades are running. And the next trade is on Tuesday, and on Tuesday again it's a bit of a win, but I would say again a break-even trade. And maybe one of the reasons why it was a break-even trade, it is because that trade was taken outside of my trading time. So we can see it's 7 p.m. here, and I took the trade, and I am not yet trusting my own strategy outside of my 5 a.m. till 8 a.m. time, UK time. So that one, I took it. It was accordingly to the strategy. Here we have got a strong candle which closed on the other side of the trend line, because it opened and it closed on the other side of the trend line, because that one closed literally on the trend line. And then I entered on the next candle, and I should have held it. It was also pretty small risk, I think $200. Yeah, looking at the numbers, it was $200, so that was a $600 win. But well, I need to start trusting myself, even if the trade is taken outside of my trading hours, because the strategy is working. Honestly, it is not so much working around the New York Open, 1 hour before New York Open till I would say 2 hours in, 2-3 hours in, and I see that the volatility is so big, and also the dollar is so volatile that the silver is not doing clean moves. But I went here further back on Tuesday to the early morning, because we can see that what I'm saying, this week the morning were terrible for trading. Here, okay, on China Open we went down, nope, we reversed, nope, we have no idea where we're going. Here was a bit of a move to the downside, which I could have caught. But I think if I remember correctly, that was too high risk for me. Yes, because of that candle here. So if we'll go, yeah, that is $600 of the risk. So I couldn't take anything of that. There was no pullback or anything. Also funny, like this candle at 5.55 really open on the other side and then immediately reversed. So this is what I'm saying, that the mornings are very slow this week and nothing is happening. The move started to happen, yeah, at the New York Open here. We can see for UK time, the New York Open is at 2:30. So that was the New York Open. And then there was a pullback. And this was the move that I wanted to catch. And I got scared. And on Wednesday, I didn't take any trades because, as I was saying, the information about ceasefire happened from Tuesday to Wednesday, so there was a huge spike to the upside, and then the price dropped to the downside. And during my time, the price was not going anywhere. We didn't know if it's going up or down. So here we're having no trades. And on Thursday, yeah, so first I took 2 trades, which ended up on break-even kinda, and both of them were taken during my trading time. However, those were not the great trades, and we can see that from Wednesday the price was going down, and then here it's an opening of Thursday and the price doesn't know again where it's going. I was already reading this as a consolidation. However, the consolidation happened throughout the whole London session, and then at the end, finally in New York, we got the move. But that consolidation killed me, literally, because that's why I'm having this minus $400 of a loss. The first 2 trades were during my trading hours, as I was saying, but I wasn't following so much the strategy because this candle, the volume, if we will look closer, the volume of this candle is lower than the previous ones. However, I entered just on the next candle after this one closed on the other side, and kind of chicken out very fast with a small loss. It could have been minus $150, but it was smaller. But yeah, the price was going nowhere. And the next trade is a loss because I didn't trade it on Wednesday, and on Thursday already I took 2 trades and they ended up in total as a break-even. And well, that loss, it's kind of when you're $800 on a plus, you have that buffer, you know that you can lose theoretically 2 trades with maximum of $400 of a loss. And it would be accordingly to your strategy, because my maximum loss accordingly to my strategy is minus $400 if I'm having the proper buffer. So the confidence a bit took over. Also, the time that we can see here, this was 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 7 a.m. This is the whole London session, and the price is going nowhere. And this anticipation that the price will go somewhere kicked in, and I should not have stayed in front of the screens for such a long time, because my trading session is ending up around 8-9. Still not sure about it after time change, but that we can see even with the volume. Here the volume is definitely smaller. Nothing is happening. Here we're starting to see that something is happening. The New York, the US is waking up. But here during London, nothing. Here we're having 2 a.m. Here 4, 4:30, 5. But that, okay, we're having still a bit of movement here at 8 a.m. when the London is opening. But here we see, like, okay, at 10 a.m. something happened, and then nothing. Those volumes are so small. So why the hell did I enter to this trade? Additionally, as you can see on the open candle, such a huge mistake. So I saw that there is like a kind of 2-3 touch point trendline break to the downside. And instead of waiting for the candle to close, I decided, like, no, now definitely we're getting out of this consolidation and we're going down. Even worse, at the moment when the candle closed on the other side, I knew that it is not according to my strategy. And what? I decided to wait until the price will hit my full stop loss, until the next candle will cross my safety line, and then I will get out, because as I said, with $800 of a buffer, I got that confidence. And yeah, first of all, I got the confidence entering not within the strategy, and then no, we're waiting until the end. Big mistake. And because that was a big loss for me, I decided like, no, I need to recover from that loss and I need to get those money back. And P&L hit in. And we can see that that trade would work out and would work out very beautifully. But I got in the wrong place and then I got wicked out. So we can see here we have got this consolidation. We're getting out of this consolidation. We're getting back to this support resistance zone, which we kind of can see here. Here we're having the resistance, and from the other side we're seeing the support. But instead of waiting until the price will do that bottom kinda, I entered on the open candle. I entered here, and then the candle become an undecisive candle. And yeah, I had got my stop loss literally under those wicks. I didn't allow the price to even hit that trend line, they said that safety line. And yep, I got kicked out. And afterwards the price done the move. My take profit was on the top of the previous pivot point, but yeah, got wicked out and got another loss. And let's see if we have a proper entry for that trade. So our candle was not looking great and it kind of wicked out. It's an undecisive candle, so we're moving our trend line to the wick of that candle. And let's see the next one. The next one, okay, we're having a bigger volume. The candle went and closed on the other side, but it's not a pretty candle. So okay, still we don't like it. So we're putting the trend line on the top of the wick because it's not a pretty candle. And the next candle, it has a small body. We can see it has got big wicks on both sides, here and here. And it just made a fake out and close on the other side. Also, volume is small. So nope, we are moving our trend line to the next top of the wick. And then the next one, yeah, this is the candle which we could have entered. We can see that the body is pretty, the wicks are small, and the candle closed on the other side of the trend line, and the volume is big. So that would be the entry point. Our stop loss would be on the other side of the safety line or under the pivot points, so somewhere around here, and then take profit wherever we would like to. And the last day, so Friday, we have a win. And I am very proud of this win because I was holding it for quite some time and I was trying to align with the strategy. I am usually also not very confident about holding or even entering the trades which have got a very, very long trend line. And we can see that here the point A is on Thursday morning, so this is almost over 24-hour trend line. And here we have got the first touch point, then we have got a fake out here, so we have a second touch point here, and that's why this one is not touching. And then we had the pullback of that move to the downside, and I was anticipating that the price will go down. However, again, as I was showing you on the previous trade, we can see that this candle, well, this is an undecisive candle, so we need to move our trend line here. This one, okay, it closed on the other side, it has a bigger volume, but I wasn't sure yet here, so I didn't enter and I waited, and we can see that the next two candles created almost a touch points on that trend line. And then when we had got another candle and it closed on the other side, and we can see that the volume was bigger, I decided to enter. I was not sure because the move already kind of happened, but we were going with the trend and I was anticipating that the price will go to $75, as that was the lowest point of Asian session. And well, we entered and we can see that 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, I was still on the minus. and I was very scared, especially that $235 is quite a lot after losing the day before $400. So that was definitely a very hard trade to sit on. And finally, we can see that the price moved through my entry point and I was on some profit. However, because that pullback took so long, I started to doubt if the price will actually make a bigger move. So initially my take profit was on $75. Then I moved it, okay, maybe it needs to cover those two pivot points, so 75, 80, and we can see that I kept that one here. And then afterwards I was trailing from both sides, narrowing down the price when the price was going very fast to the bottom. So whenever the price was moving, I was moving my stop loss here, closer, and I got out slightly higher than where was my take profit. But yep, my initial take profit would have been hit, however this time without me, and I am very happy with that one because I stick to the strategy. That one was fully accordingly to it. That is a very good trade for the end of those last 2 very hard weeks. And this is it for today, and I hope I didn't disappoint you, but this is the true reality, how your brain is messing up with you, and sometimes you are getting in those tilt dates. But the most important is to keep calm, regulate your system, and get back and try to follow your strategy. And don't think about P&L, which is very hard, as you can see, because I am still closing the trades now way too early. But follow your strategy, get back to it, and try to rebuild then the account. And if you're also struggling with the tilt dates or psychology in trading, then check out the videos here, which I created based on my own experience, and I hope they will also help you. See you next time. Bye!